Welcome to Unibek Group of Schools. At Unibek, we bring to you quality standard education. In continuation of our e-learning today, our lesson for today is civic education. And we're going to treat the topic constitution. Before we continue, we're going to look at the meaning of constitution and the definition. We're going to look at the features of constitution, the sources of constitution, types of constitution, and advantages and disadvantages of constitution. Before we proceed, what is constitution? I know most of us have heard about constitution, even have seen it. What is constitution? It's very important that we know the definition of constitution. Constitution, according to our definition, is a body of agreed rules, principles, and traditions stating how the powers governing a country are given and how these powers are to be exercised. It is a legal document which defines the powers and functions of the arms of government, specifies how leaders are to be selected and removed, and also outline the rights of the citizens in a country. Okay, to elaborate on this definition, the Constitution says that it is a body of agreed rules, principles, and traditions, which means it is a document that are agreed in a country. Constitutions are not only used by a country, constitution can be used by an institution, agencies, or a group of people. It's in here, in this our context or definition. It states how powers of governing a country are given and how these powers are to be exercised, which means how we elect our president, governors, members of the National Assembly are all enshrined and defined in a constitution. It's also it's a legal document which defines the powers and functions of the arms of government. It's a legal document which means it is all the actions, all the limitations of the elected leaders or members of the National Assembly or State Assembly are all enshrined and incorporated in the Constitution. I have a sample of a Constitution here with me. You can see me here. This is the Nigerian Constitution, 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. It is amended in 2011. In this Constitution, all the powers of the elected leaders, the rights of the citizens, the limits of the powers of these elected leaders, how they should exercise their powers, are all enshrined in this Constitution. This is a legal document that states when a leader is arbitrarily using the power given to him by the people. Not to waste much of time in this definition, we're going to look at the features of this Constitution. What I mean features are things that are contained in this Constitution, things you are going to see in this Constitution. There are a lot of things to see in this Constitution, but we are not going to elaborate more on all of them. We are going to pick some of those things that can be captured or seen in this Constitution. Number one thing to be seen there is a Constitution defines the qualification of a citizen. What do I mean by that? How a person becomes a citizen of a country is defined in this Constitution. Is it by birth? Is it by registration or marriage? Is it by naturalization or by honor? These are means one can acquire citizenship in a country. They are all stated here how one can become, for instance, in Nigeria, how one can be a Nigerian. You can be a Nigerian through birth, you can be a Nigerian through registration of marriage, you can be a Nigerian through naturalization, or by honorary citizenship. All these things are stated in the Constitution. Another feature in this Constitution is it has a preamble which defines its aspiration. What I mean by this, a preamble is the lead statement that states what you are going to see in a Constitution. A preamble states what a book is all about. It's like a summary of what you intend, what you're going to see in a book. That's a preamble. For instance, in this constitution, the preamble, first of all, we have a preamble of this Nigerian constitution which says, Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Promotion Decree 1999. This is the preamble. It's the lead statement. It's a lead statement. Okay. Which another feature of the constitution is a constitution states the structure of government. When I mean the structure of government, what kind of government are we practicing? Is it federal? Is it unitary government? Is it confederal? But in Nigeria, we are practicing federal system of government, which means this constitution states that Nigeria, that reason why it is called 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, which means what are some of the things we are going to practice in this country is based on federal structure. That's what this constitution is all about. That's what I'm going to see inside this constitution. Another feature of this constitution is it states the tenure of elected office holders. For instance, every 4 years we elect our president, we elect our governors. How long are they going to stay in office? It's all enshrined in this constitution. If they're going to stay 4 years, it's all enshrined. How they should be removed? Is it through voting? Is it through impeachment? Is it through recall? The process of their removal are all enshrined in this constitution. Another feature in this constitution is that it reveals the type of party system that should be operated in a country. For instance, in Nigeria, we operate multi-party system. In the last election, about something political parties registered for election. So this constitution allows them, give them the right to register. It's not a situation whereby only one party or two parties will just register. And this constitution allows many parties to register and contest in the election. Another feature in this constitution is that it states the process of its amendment. What do I mean by that? How this constitution should be amended. For instance, this is written and rigid constitution. The members of the National Assembly, about 2/3 of the members of the National Assembly, should agree that any part of this constitution should be amended. How it should be amended is all enshrined or inculcated in this constitution, which means the process of its amendment is embedded in the constitution. That's one of the advantages. Okay, let's look at the sources of constitution. When I mean sources, when I say sources of constitution, I mean how we come about our constitution. How do we derive our constitution? From which quarter did we derive or form our constitution? Number one is the history of the people. What I mean the history of the people means what has happened in that country for a number of years. That's the history of people. In Nigeria, we have fought the civil war before. It's a history in this country. There we have entered some treaties with other countries. It's a history in this country. There are certain events that have happened in this country that will help us when reviewing our constitution or forming a constitution that will guide us on how to do it. History of the people is very important when forming a constitution. Another source of constitution is customs and traditions of the people. When I mean customs and traditions, I mean those norms, the way people behave, the way people live, their tradition, the norms, what they believe in is the tradition. How they relate to others is the tradition and customs of people. When making our constitution or forming our constitution, it's very important we take into consideration these customs and tradition of the people. Nigeria is a homogeneous country. We have about 3 major ethnic groups: Igbos, Hausas, and the Yorubas. So when forming our constitution, we should consider the culture and tradition of these 3 ethnic groups and put it into consideration when forming our constitution. Another one is conventions. Conventions are those established rules that people have enjoyed the usage, it becomes part of us. That convention, when convention are some of those things we have attended to and we agree, yes, this is going to be where we are going to discuss some certain issues. It's also in this place that we can help form our constitution. Another one is judicial precedent. What is judicial precedent? Judicial precedent are those outcomes from in a law court. Some of the decisions the judges have made, some of the court cases that have stand the test of time, that can stand as an example. It's a judicial precedent. For instance, like in the last electoral election, where a governor was removed in Imo State, the outcome of that judgment can serve as a judicial precedent. What happened in Bayelsa? If such a thing happens in another state in future, the electorate can also refer to that and say, okay, this is how how that case was judged. It can serve as a judicial precedent. Another source of constitution is constitutional conference. Constitutional conference is a situation whereby every ethnic group, or we have about 36 states in this country, we get a representative that to represent, we discuss issues that concern how the country should move forward, or if there's any conflicting issue in the constitution that needs amendment, in the constitutional conference, that should be addressed there. Everyone will bring his opinion how to move the country forward in the constitutional conference. From there, if there's any section of this constitution that is not in tandem with the well-being of the citizens, can be removed in the constitutional conference. If there's anything that needs to be added, it can also be addressed in the constitutional conference. It does serve as a veritable tool in making our constitution. Another one is Act of Parliament. Act of Parliament. Act of Parliament are those decisions or laws made by our parliamentarians or legislators. Those laws that are not included in the constitution, when this constitution should be reviewed, should added. There are certain laws that are made, bills that are deliberation that need to be inculcated in this constitution, which are not here. So the Act of Parliament serve as a source. Some of those decisions they have made that are not here, when reviewing this constitution or amending it, can be added. It's a veritable source of constitution. Another source of constitution is decrees. Decrees are known by the military. Decrees are what the military used to rule the country. Decrees are those laws made during military eras. In Nigeria, we have a different experiences in military regime. We have had several encounters with the military since our independence. So there are many laws or decrees made by these regimes, which is good. And those decrees can be inculcated in our constitution and serve as a law that guide the country. So decrees is also another source of constitution. Another source of our constitution is the works of our eminent scholars. We have many elites, we have people who have been exposed, who are erudite scholars, who have established themselves in their areas of life endeavor. Some of their written works can also be consulted when trying to review constitution or trying to amend the constitution. The works of people like Civic, Chief of or even other eminent scholars like Socrates, Thomas Hobbes. Some of their works can also be considered when making constitution. Okay, that's about the sources of constitution. Types of constitution. We have many types of constitution adopted by different countries. For instance, Nigeria, we have adopted a written constitution and rigid constitution. Our constitution is written, and that makes it rigid. Now, what is written constitution? A written constitution is a type of constitution in which the rules, regulations, principles are found in a single document, which means the code of conduct, how Nigeria, we should elect our leaders, how they should be removed, the right of the citizens are all enshrined in this constitution. It is written. It's not verbal. That's why it is written constitution. Another type of constitution is unwritten constitution. Unwritten constitution can be defined as a constitution in which the rules and provisions are not found in a single document. When I say a constitution is unwritten, that does not totally mean it's not written down in any paper. There might be, but only that it is not compounded or compiled in a single document, just like Nigerian code, that is compiled in a single document. They might have it in parts, like Great Britain. They have adopted unwritten constitution, but they have some of their constitution written in parts. But their constitution are not combined together to form a single constitution, a document like other countries that are making use of the written constitution. Another type of constitution is rigid constitution. Rigid constitution is somewhat same with written. Rigid constitution, what makes a constitution rigid is its process of amendment. For instance, we can define rigid constitution as one in which its process of amendment or change is difficult or rigorous. A constitution is considered to be rigid when the process of its amendments are cumbersome. For instance, in Nigeria, you can't just wake up, a leader cannot just wake up and decide to change any item or any section of this constitution to suit him or his party. That's why it is written constitution. Another type of constitution is flexible constitution. Flexible constitution is also can be, because flexible constitution a flexible constitution can be defined as a type of constitution in which the process of amendment is easy and flexible, which means in a flexible constitution the process of its amendment is always easy, it's not cumbersome, it's not rigorous like the rigid constitution. And countries that normally make use of this flexible are unitary government. A country that doesn't have much population, a small country, flexible constitution can be easily used by a small country or a unitary government. Okay, there are advantages of this constitution mentioned here. There are advantages of written constitution and disadvantages of it. We're going to look at some of the advantages and disadvantages of this written constitution. We're going to look at some of this written constitution. Okay, the advantages of written constitution: one, it is accessible. You can go to the bookshop or secretariat and pick your own copy and study it to know when your right is being infringed upon, what you should do, what you should do at a particular time, how your leaders have been elected, and when your leader is arbitrarily using his power. That's just why one of the advantages of this written constitution, it's accessible. One can easily go to the supermarket or bookshop and pick his own copy. Another advantage of it is that it allows for proper documentation. It allows for proper documentation. The written constitution allows proper documentation. It also protects the minority. The constitution protects the interest of the minority, because if our constitution is not written, sometimes the majority would have, observed or try to intimidate the minority. So if the right of the minority is inculcated or enshrined in the constitution, it can easily be manipulated. There are disadvantages of written constitution. One of them is that the process of its amendment is always rigorous. For instance, in Nigeria, we can't just amend this without the two-third majority of the National Assembly and the State Assemblies. They need to agree that, okay, the section of the constitution should be amended before it should be amended. Sometimes it's not
easy to amend the constitution when in times of emergency. For instance, like COVID-19, there are certain things the government might like to put in place, but because it's not easy to amend the constitution, the process of going to the House, National Assembly and State Assembly for them to agree on that is always rigorous. It cannot be easily done. Okay, let's look at the advantage of unwritten constitution. In times of emergency, one of the advantages is that advantages of unwritten constitution. One of them is that it is easy to amend. An unwritten constitution can be easily amended since the people, all that needs to be done is just for the leader to pronounce that this thing needs to be done, and the whole community know. Since the word of the leader is there, is law, you can easily amend that constitution because there's no document that contains there you need to rewrite again. Another advantage is that it's good in terms of emergency. For instance, in Nigeria, I think we are using unwritten constitution. The president can easily say, okay, we need so amount to, procure some palliatives to and give without visiting the National Assembly, and that can be done. That can be done. That's one of the advantages. But then there's a disadvantage of it, because a leader can manipulate the constitution and set it to suit him and his family or his party. A leader can just manipulate the constitution because he's in power. It's not written. He can just by a verbal word and say something and it becomes a law. Okay, we are going to look at the rigid constitution, advantages of it and disadvantages of it. Advantage of rigid constitution. One of the advantages of rigid constitution is that it cannot be easily amended. Like the written constitution, it cannot be easily. It also, it's democratic. It denies some autocratic leaders to change it according to change to suit their aspirations. Some autocratic leaders, those who are there to serve themselves, not for the public, it cannot easily be changed. That's one of the advantages. But there are disadvantages of it, of rigid constitution. One of the disadvantages is that it delays the process. It is not good when in times of emergency. It is not good in times of emergency. Rigid constitution is not good because it is written. It's not something one can just easily change. One can easily or to attend to that emergency situation. Okay, there are a lot of things to learn about. Maybe in this first stanza of our discussion we end here, but we are going to, in our next lesson, we're going to look at the importance of constitution, and we have other unitary constitution, federal constitution, confederal constitutions. We are going to look at that. Thank you, and I hope you enjoyed the lesson. Thank you. Thank you for